Hey guys, welcome back to the MCU HQ, and this is my review of Loki episode 3. Sorry it's a couple days late. I didn't have a lot of time the last couple days, but I do now, so here's my review. I'm going to dive straight into spoilers for this episode, so if you have not seen episode 3 of Loki, go watch episode 3 of Loki, then come back and watch this review. Okay, first of all, we have to talk about how much of a gem Loki is. And then in contrast with Lady Loki, because the two of them, they're a duo throughout this episode. We got Agatha all along, we got Zemo dancing, and now we get Loki singing. And it was good. I liked that scene of him singing to Sylvie and Sylvie. How do you say her name? Anyway, speaking of Sylvie, is Loki in love with himself? So the episode had some hints that Lady Loki might be a love interest for Loki. And I would not be surprised at all if Loki fell in love with a female variant of himself, although I'm guessing Loki can just swap genders, so that was a normal Loki that just made himself into a female and then named himself Sylvie. So Loki's just in love with himself, and that wouldn't surprise me one bit if he actually falls in love with himself. That would be the ultimate Loki thing to do. I am liking Lady Loki. She's not up to par with Tom Hiddleston as Loki and Owen Wilson as Mobius, but I still like her. She's not bringing the show down by any means. She's just not up to how great those two characters are. And speaking of Owen Wilson, I miss Mobius. I didn't realize just how much I loved Mobius until they took him from me. The only main character outside of Loki and Lady Loki that we see in this episode is Judge Renslayer, and that's at the start when they go into the TVA. And we also did learn some important stuff about the TVA, and that's that everyone that works there is a variant, just like, Loki is. Opens a whole new can of worms, confirms what a lot of people were thinking. The big thing that people were wondering is if Casey can see all of time, how does he not know what a fish is? That was a red flag for people. Well, they confirmed it. That's because they're all variants that I guess we can assume have just kind of been reprogrammed to be TVA workers or agents, and it makes me wonder what their plan was for Loki. I can't help but be slightly disappointed in this episode. Yes, we got tons of great stuff. We got to see Loki use his magic also. But episode 2 ended with a complete shift for this universe, and that was the timeline bombing, which is such a big deal that every Minuteman at the TVA was mobilized to deal with it. And this episode did nothing to acknowledge that Sylvie bombed the timeline. And that's kind of disappointing, especially because of how heavy they set up that this is a huge timeline multiverse event. And we didn't see anything in episode 3. Although Tom Hiddleston did say episodes 4 and 5 are huge changes for the series. And they're his favorite episodes, so we're obviously gonna see something in episode 4. The Lady Loki featurette that they put out showed us some footage. We saw a young Sylvie escorted into the TVA. We also saw her grown and Loki in the restraint thing, which means both of them get picked up by the TVA, which it definitely spoils the resolution to the cliffhanger at the end of this episode, because the arc that they were supposed to escape the planet in was blown up. And everyone's like, oh no, what are they gonna do? Well, it looks like the TVA just nabs them both. It also confirmed that Loki is a queer character. This episode gave us several reveals, but I can't help but think it was the worst of the 3 we've gotten so far. It was not bad by any means. I think all 3 episodes of this series have been pretty strong so far going into the back half. So it hasn't run out of gas yet, but we'll see how it pulls off these last few episodes. Well guys, what did you think of Loki episode 3? Let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments below. Also leave a like on this video, subscribe, click on the bell icon to receive all notifications from the MCU HQ. That's going to be it. Have a great day, guys.